Hey besties, today I'm back with another video. I want to talk about my siser. I want to talk about my siser Juliet that I bought recently. I saw many different artists using that cutting machine and I wanted to try it out myself. I already have two silhouettes. I have one silhouette portrait and one silhouette cameo, but I thought they aren't cutting it out, pun intended, for me as much sometimes. Like I get a lot of miscuts or a lot of recalibration issues, so I decided I wanted to try out something new, try out something which I've heard so far is really perfect in cutting. So I did some research, I bought it, it's here, it arrived like last week. I haven't come around to cutting anything with it yet, and I wanted to try it out with like this notepad that I wanted to do, like this autumn themed, because I'm already way ahead of time, this autumn themed notepad that I drew with like a little forest background and a little cute sleeping fox and a cute little autumn leaf. And I printed it on like normal copy paper. This one is like a little bit silky, smooth. I don't know. I don't have the package anymore, so I don't know what kind of paper it is, but it's just a little bit different. And I printed it out. I put it on the mat, and then I had a nightmare of a time figuring out the... Oh, my printer is saying something. Wait. Speak your truth, babe. I had a nightmare figuring out the cutting settings because... Are you done? Apparently not. I had a nightmare of a time figuring out the cutting settings because you have to like manually set out the little blade. They say like has to be less of a millimeter out of the casing. That's kind of like the width of a credit card apparently. And what I did was I put it wrong in the little holder. Wait, let me see. I think my light is a little bit off. That's better. No. That's better. Yeah, I had the blade wrong inside the little holding thing, so it wasn't even touching the paper. It was just 1 millimeter above the paper every time that I did like a test cut, so that wasn't working out. I figured that out. I got it to touch the paper, and I figured out the cutting settings that I needed for the copy paper. It was like force of 12, I think. I left the cut speed on the lower side so that it wouldn't do like damage to the paper, but the force of the cut for the copy paper was 12. Just in case you need to know that as well. My problem then was the mat is brand new and is high tech. So as I was removing my paper, not only did it curl up like this and became unusable, it also ripped. There are bits just of the tissue missing. That sucks. So my solution for that, I will take all the papers that I already printed out with like their little registration marks, which I cannot use in my other cutting machines, and I'll just cut them with the hand guillotine. That's what you're here for. I will take you through the entire process from start to end on how to make a handmade notepad. Yay! First, I have a file set up on the Leonardo Studio, so I will show you how to set up the file there. It helps me to figure out dimensions, to make everything have the same size so that I can cut it evenly, even if it's like with a hand guillotine. So I will take you through all of those steps. Maybe it will be helpful to you if you have like a lower tack mat on the scissor silhouette, and then you can do it yourself. I might invest in buying a lower tack mat as well, because I think if I have like thicker vinyl or like die cut stickers and stuff, then it might not have the same effect that I had on the copy paper and have everything stick to the mat. I think then, because it's a little bit sturdier, it might work better, but at the moment with the copy paper, I don't see it happening. So either I get a lower tack mat or I just cut it by hand. And since I want to work on this as soon as possible, I will be cutting it by hand. So come along, let's make a notepad together. If you don't know me, I'm Claudia, I'm the owner of Leonardo Designs, and I like to make cute things. And we are making cute things together in this channel, and we are doing a slow type of productivity, and we are not rushing and hustling, we are just doing everything at our own pace. Let's check things out over at the computer, okay?
Many later.
For this case, I already have my file set up, but I will show you how to do it from the very beginning. You open up Leonardo Studio, you go over there in the little corner says design, and then you go over on file and import. I select my page here, the one with the little fox. Look how cute it is. Is that not like the cutest little thing? This will be like a sticker also in one of the sticker sheets that I designed for autumn. you will choose the print and cut option. I go over here to resolution and I select 300 dpi just to make sure that it goes like the highest that it can go. I don't touch actually anything over here. I just go on to next, and here as well. If you want to do like an offset or an inset, if you have like a sticker so it has like that border around, then you can choose the size of that offset here. And if you want to do an inset so it cuts inside the design, then you can choose inset and also choose how big you want that thing to be. You go for inset and then you go over finished. What I did afterwards was here on the artboard, you select paper marks because you want to do a print and cut, and then these registration marks appear. And then you need to choose the size of the paper. I use A4 because I'm in Europe and we don't have that US size of paper. And then I just want to like resize it so I can fit 4 of them inside of the registration marks. So you see this one already is perfect size to stay inside the registration marks. When you're done, you go over here on send design and it takes you to the page where you can send the design to the printer and to the cutter. As you can see, this is the one that goes to the printer and these are the cut lines that will be sent to the cutter. In this little situation here, you would choose your printer. I'm again selecting the A4 and selecting where the paper is coming from. You can also put how many copies you need of each, and then you send it to the printer. After that, it will print it out. And then once I have my pages printed out, you just go over to the cutting contours. I choose my cutting settings on the machine itself, but I think you can also choose them here. If you put like the force and speed or whatever, you can put them down here, but I just do it on the machine. And then you send to cutter. Here is the siser Juliet. You would usually just turn it on over here, and you freak out a little bit because it does like this sound and motion. It's always a little bit scary. Yeah, I always freak out over there. This is the main screen. You have to connect it to the Wi-Fi first to be able to use it. Once you have your mat inserted here with your design, you just need to put one of the registration marks. I'm just gonna put like this without a mat. Just need to make sure that the mat is aligned with this. And then here on this little wheel, you would move the mat back and forth and move the little cutting tool left and right until you find the registration marks to start the job. To do that, you would scoop it up all the way over here so that the first registration mark is right underneath the cutting tool. Once you send the job, you would like choose the cutting settings. Oh no, I have the forces on 13. Sorry. When you have your settings set up there, then you can send the job from the computer to the cutter, and then it would start to read the registration marks. I had a really big problem yesterday because it was always like not finding it because I didn't know where I needed to put the little cutting tool. So I was putting like just somewhere, and then it wouldn't find the registration mark and the machine would start beeping. It would show me like the camera view, and then I would have to move the little cross that appears back and forth until I find the registration mark, and then the machine automatically zeroes in on it, and then it goes from this one to the next one to the next one on the end of the end, reads all 4 and then starts the job. I know this is a really weird way of explaining things right now without actually showing, but since that would just be wasting material, I'm not going to show it right now because it wouldn't work with the copy paper, but I will do it once I have die cut stickers ready to be cut with this machine. I will show you a proper way of using it. At the moment, you just have to do with this poor and shoddy explanation without any actual material. Now that we're done talking about the Juliet, we'll go back to our regular program of cutting things by hand. This is my little table where I'll be working right now. This was part of my setup because I will be participating in SoloCon, which is like this convention in Solothurn here in Switzerland. And I was figuring out my artist alley table settings, how I wanted to have my table design, like my table setup. And I was figuring out how I wanted to display my stickers and display my keychains and everything that I have to sell. So I might do a video about that as well at some point. It's gonna be on the 31st of October and 1st of November, so I still have some time to do videos about it till then. Here we have my handy dandy guillotine. I've done many projects with this thing, very useful. And here I have the beautiful pages for my new notepad. How I would like the leaf and the cute little fox, cute little sleeping fox. What am I doing? I like to cut one page at a time just so I can avoid as many miscuts as possible. I've done one other notepad before and I cut it all with my silhouette because that way the cuts are all like nicely aligned. And the problem is I think the blade on this one has been dulling a little bit, so sometimes it cuts like on top of the page and not as well aligned as on the bottom, or vice versa. That's why sometimes I need to do like many cuts until I have like the perfect page, and it is a little bit annoying. That's why I wanted to do it with a plotter as much as possible. Put it all down. I've been wanting to get like one of those guillotines that like can cut many dozens of sheets at one time, because those would be really useful for projects like these, but they're so expensive. Like I've seen some that are like over 1,000 francs, and I'm like, I can't afford that at the moment just for like a guillotine. So either I find like a more budget option, or I'll just keep going like with plotter or with this guillotine. Everything shifts a little bit though, and that's the thing that annoys me the most. Is that even though I hold it down with this little stopper, since it's just a single page, it just shifts around, and if I hold it like this, then sometimes the part that's here at the front bows a little bit, and then the cut is not as neat. So no matter what I do, I always feel like I get imperfect cuts with this. And my problem is that I don't want things to like misalign when I'm putting the pages together and gluing them. I want everything to be nicely aligned. With my mermaid notepad, that was no problem because it was cut by the silhouette, but I think this one might be... I mean, this one right now is just a prototype as well, because all of them will be made to order. Every time that I make one, I will try to use the silhouette as much as possible. It's just much more time consuming to do every single sheet one by one like now. I mean, they turn out really cute, but it's just too much work like this. And one thing I like about this paper is that it's not like normal, I don't think it's like normal copy paper, so it is a little bit, you can hear like there's a little bit of a wobble going on. I drew that background in like the span of one afternoon, and I'm really proud because I'm not the type that usually draws backgrounds, because I think there's just so many elements that go into it, and I'm very bad at color choosing and all of that. And I was thinking that I need to work on that, so what better thing to do than a notepad? There's like a little, maybe you can't see it, but it's a little bit of white still peeking out here, but not over here, so I need to try and align it as much as I can so that it cuts. See, I think the page lifts, and that's the problem. And if I use this one, it works, but yeah. I cut off too much on that one, and that's why I dislike doing this by hand. I don't want it to be looking ugly. I want it to all align perfectly. It won't really work like that, but I'll give my best. I'll give my best. I want all of the notepads to be 50 pages. That means 25 sheets per design, because I usually just have 2 designs. So it's usually around 6 to 7 pages that I need to print to get to that amount of designs. How bad was that cut right now? How did this happen? I'm a little bit of a time crunch because I've been invited to a wedding, almost like a secret wedding, as in we were invited to a birthday party of my aunt's boyfriend, and apparently is also a party celebrating their wedding because they got secretly married. And my mom found out because my grandmother almost forced it out of my aunt, but that's what's been going on in my life, and this afternoon that's where we are heading to. And so I don't have as much time as I would like to really work on something, and I need to do it in a bit of a time crunch.
One eternity later.
I don't know if I can find like a replacement blade if this one were ever to dull, and I don't know how I'll be able to sharpen it properly. There's like this blade sharpening surface that comes through our little town, so I may try to bring it there. Maybe they sharpen guillotine blades as well. I thought that the high-tech mat was going to be a little bit harsh on the material, but I still tried. I think the design looks really, really cute. I'm very proud of how the little fox came out. I'm proud of how the background of the forest came out, because like I said before, I'm not much of a background person, so I think it came out really cute. Might not be perfect, but this is a journey, so don't be harsh on yourself. No one is born a perfect maker of their craft. You all have to hone our skills. And I will make as many mistakes as it takes to get me to being not a master, but someone who enjoys what she does and doesn't do it that badly. But mostly I just want to enjoy what I'm doing. I used to think that setting up the camera to film what I'm doing would usually double the amount of time that it takes me to do something, and there's not like an untruth to it, but if I just do what I want to do and film while I'm doing it, then I'm happy. And it is kind of cool to just talk to myself out loud. Like I said in the previous video, I've grew up kind of like talking to myself, and now I just happen to be filming it. Oh yeah, one thing I also enjoy doing is like making recycled paper. I've done some in the past, and I've done some like with colors and flower petals, and I feel like I still haven't perfected it, so I would like to do some more for this channel as well, so that I can not just like teach you, because I'm not here to be like doing tutorials, although that's a little bit of what I've done, but it's not a tutorial, it's more like me showing the process of doing something and not really recommending you do the same thing, just saying this is how I do it. And somehow it works, so I think that somehow it could work for you as well. But like I said before, I'm not a professional, I'm just having fun. Oh, my back. I'm too old to be punching over like that. You know what I'm gonna try? I'm gonna try cutting more pages together. Let's see if that works. Please let it not be a mistake. I think that worked out well. Okay, let me try like that then. Let me try like this. Oh god. This is a bit nerve-wracking. Because if I make a mistake, then it's 6 pages worth of mistakes. So I'm not really be happy about that, wasting all that paper. But I just need to secure it really well. Always make sure every sheet is aligned before I put it through again. Okay, I think it worked. Oh, you know what the problem is? They're not aligned on the page itself. There's like a little bit of an off-center you see here. I think that might not make like a big problem, because it's just like a small margin. So I think I might be able to cut the pages still all equally. But even if it's not perfect, I mean, it's handmade. It's part of the handmade charm, you know? You can't expect things to be perfect. And I think people who buy it with the notion that it's handmade will appreciate that as well, that mindset. So I say I need those really big guillotines, because then this would be no problem. Then I can do these all day, baby. But if I have to do one at a time, then it's a lot of work. This is not it. This is not it at all. Thank goodness this was just the tryout. I just realized that I spoke 3 minutes long without the mic picking up a word because the mic was off. I'm going to repeat what I said. Yeah, I made a big mistake when cutting these. Like, if I tap it all on the... So ridiculous, looks so ridiculous. Look at that, like shorter, longer, shorter. When I tap it all on the table and align everything, it looks totally ridiculous. Good thing is that this is just a demo product. I will just use this for myself to make my little notes. And I realized the mistakes that I made was that the design on the page itself in the Leonardo studio, that there was like this misalignment like I showed you before. And because of that misalignment, I ended up cutting a few millimeters off of each page with a guillotine, because I was just doing it like everything together. So the result was a little bit of a fail. I learned about it. I learned where I made my mistake, and I won't make the same mistake again, hopefully. But yeah, it's annoying. And thank goodness I will be using this for myself, because this will be a bit of a waste of paper. But talking about waste of paper, all the paper scraps from this project or other projects that include paper that I do on this channel or for my shop in general, they all go towards my recycled paper making. So it all ends up being recycled anyway. So I don't like paper waste in this channel. I think I used slightly thinner paper on my Mermaid Treasures notepad, so that the end result, the 50 sheets, was way thinner than this. But I really like how this one feels. It's really smooth, and I think it will make for a really nice writing experience, so I think I will keep to this paper. And I really like how the colors are really vibrant. Of course, this is just a little bit faded because of the space to write in, but I think it looks really nice with this paper. So without any further ado, I'll now show you how to take your stack of little note pages and make it into an actual notepad. I also cut some chipboard, usually to put in the backing so that it's a little more stable and less likely to bend. So there we go. Pew. Here's the chipboard that I got. Now we'll just make the mix of pages. And if you would like to have a notepad that is just with the fox design or just with the leaf design, then I think I will add that option to personalize that on Etsy and on my Shopify, so that people can get whatever design they want on their notepad and are happier with it. I personally think like the rotating design is really cute, because then you always have a different page with something else on it, but the customer can choose however they want.
we interrupt this program to bring you...
Like at the beginning of March, I think, I put like these balls of bird feed attached to the outside grid of my balcony, and the birds ate it all, and I was really happy because we have like this giant tree next to our balcony, and I always see birds flying in and out of it, so I decided that I wanted to feed them. And I put those bird feed balls outside of the balcony, and they ate it like in the span of a couple of weeks. So I wanted to go buy more of them, and I couldn't find them anywhere. Like I tried 3 different shops, including like Lundy, which is like with gardening stuff and natural products and stuff like that, and I couldn't find any more of those bird feed balls. So I just started to buy like some balcony mix, which is mixed with like different seeds that have like already no how do you say, schale? They're ready to eat. They're ready for the birds to eat, you know? And I bought that and I spread it on the little sill on the outside of my balcony, and the birds ate it with like in the span of a week. So now I'm like really excited. I spread some more and I put like this little plate with water on it so that they can drink from it, and I'm really excited to just see them because I saw them like going in and out of my balcony every time that they would come to eat, and that made me really happy. The thing is that they pooped on my balcony as well. I thought they wouldn't poop where they ate, but they did poop. And I had to clean it up this morning, but it was still cool to see them all the time. And I'm really looking forward to seeing them now and maybe catch some of them like drinking or maybe taking a bath in that little plate. Yeah, I can show you if you want. It's really dark in the shadow, but you can see like there's the bird feed all along this sill, and then this is the water plate, and I really hope that they will come and drink and eat again. Okay, now that everything is interspaced, like one fox, one leaf, one fox, one leaf, I will put the chipboard in the back, align everything on the top. Those 4 short pages, I align everything so that every page has some point of contact here, and that's where I will apply the glue. Before I do that, I need to make sure that everything sticks together. So I will be using these clips and these pieces of chipboard to make sure that they don't leave any indentations on the pages. Put the board on each side of it, on the back, and clip it. And since everything is already nicely aligned, I just need to do the same on the other side. I also have like this I have like this flower press that I bought that I can also use when I'm doing like more mass producing these notepads. I can press them inside the flower press and just glue the sides like that, or like the tops like that. But since I'm just doing one at the moment, and these will be made to order, so I don't know if I will ever be using the flower press unless they become really popular, which I hope they will. Now the tops are all aligned. Now it's time to glue it. Okay, we have our little sheets all together and ready to be glued. So now I take my glue, which is like for paper and wood and fabric and all that kind of stuff. And I take also my brush that I've been using to glue stuff. Everything is glued together. You can't really unglue it anymore. Like, what is this? You just slather a little bit on the top, if it would go. Troubleshooting, you just slather a little bit on the top, and then you use your brush to brush it against the entire top of the pages. It needs to go through to every page, otherwise there will be some loose ones in the middle there. Then I kind of clean up the front a little bit and the back using a finger. After the first layer is dry, I go and apply a second layer, or a third one if it's necessary as well. Just make sure that it's really sticking together so that it doesn't come loose. That's really important. Let's set this one down. Look, the bird. Do you see the bird? If I move too much closer, he will see me and then he will fly away. So. That knocked me out. Please, gods of the wind, dry this piece for me. I think it's ready for a second layer. You know what? I'll do it from this angle right now. I don't care. That angle at the table was knocking my head off. I had to like literally hug the camera from behind so I could film what I was doing and not be like all cramped up to one side. So I'll film it like this right now. Another layer. You just let the bottle fart a little bit. Then you have your little gloop, gloop. And then, can you see it? And you just go again all over the edge. I just realized before while I was watching it dry, literally, that some of the shorter pages did not reach the top. So I have some loose pages in there. Do I care at the moment? I don't. You know why? Because it's just a pad for me and I have some loose pages. I mean, I will end up tearing them off anyways. This is the purpose of the notepad. Tear off the pages. So if some of them are already loose, it makes it easier for me. Clean up the sides, I mean the front and the back. I've seen some people do this and then at the end, when everything is like nice and dry, they just tear off the first page because of the glue that's settled on there. I try to make sure that everything is nice and clean so that I still have that page on it. I mean, I can just do 51 pages and then at the end tear it off. That would be no problem, it's just one page more. And I always have to print more sheets than I need to actually, because to make 25 sheets, I need 6 and 6 point something pages, so I can't print 6 point something pages, so I always end up printing out 7, and because of that I always have leftovers, so which I can use to have like a tear off page, so everything in the front is nice and tidy. I can't inhale the fumes of this, I'm gonna get high or something. It's like so intense, the smell of the glue. Wiping it off. I like when glue starts drying on your skin and then you can like kind of flake it off a little bit or like pull it off like a snake skin. That's so cool. I think I'll use this opportunity to show you the mermaid notepad that I've done before. Ta-da! Has like the little band holding it together, so it's like nice and presentable and tidy. But if I just take the band off like that, you can see it has like the little shell macaron that I did for the mermaid party sticker sheet, and it has the $10 cookies on the other side, so it's also like 2 designs. This is the design that I made for the back of the mermaid sticker sheet, which looks like, wait a moment. This was the original design for the mermaid tea party. As you can see, I think it looks so cute. The colors are really vibrant. I think the designs are really cute. And I use this background and these little small elements, I use them then for the notepad. So work smarter, not harder, right? You got the 50-page design with alternating and then the chipboard in the back as well. I'm really proud of how this came out. And then I made the little band, like the little mermaid treasures by Leonardo Designs. But as you can tell, like I said something before about the paper, about the thickness of the paper, like you can really tell like this one is way thinner than this one by comparison. You see? It's crazy. So this is like just normal copy paper and this one is the smoother one. And I think I might remake this one as well in the same paper because I don't have more of the copy paper of the original that I used for this one. I've used it all already and I need to buy more paper in general. So I need to find out which paper I use for this. That's gonna be probably the tough part. I have to do some research back into my purchases because I don't really keep like an inventory of the stuff that I bought. I do have one, but I kind of just update it like every couple of months or like once in a blue moon, and then I forget that I have it, and then my boyfriend says like, have you been writing down the expenses from your shop? And I say, sometimes, and by sometimes I mean quarterly. If I still remember what I bought, I go through my emails and see the stuff that I ordered, but the stuff that I bought like in a shop physically, I have no idea how much it cost. Oh, it's really hard to put the band on now. I've taken it off and put it on so many times that it's probably gonna break the band at some point, but I have more. Obviously I have more. Here you go. The cute Mermaid Treasures notepad. Made to order. I was gonna say get them while they last, but I just make them as the orders come up, so get them while they're still hot, I guess. I think this one could be, oh yeah, it's not tacky anymore, it's good now. So take off the little clipboards. Oh, and there we have it. Why is only the leaf appearing? Show me the fox as well. This looks so bad, mostly because, okay, here's the fox, leaf, fox, then leaf again, and then fox again. But yeah, it's holding on really well, but I know that there are loose pages in there. But as I said, this will be just the demo that I made for my own. I'm always looking in the viewfinder to see what I'm doing, but I should look in the camera actually. Yeah, this one will be the one that I just use for myself, and I promise you that the next ones for the shop will come out much better. So I think it looks so cute. The design though, not the execution. The execution was poorly made, but the design is really cute. I was wondering if I should make this like a con exclusive notepad because it will be around that autumn time, but I think that would really limit me since I don't make notepads that often. So I will have this one on the shop as well. I'm also thinking of making a notepad with my print design, just like include this design in the back like I have with that one. It's just like the background, and then put like that almost like door portal transparent writing part on top, and then you have a notepad out of it as well, but obviously smaller than this. But I don't know, I really like this print. I really like the colors and how it came out. I think it looks really magical, and I think it would be really sad if I just kept it as only a print, and I want to make more products out of this design. So I think I will use it to make a notepad, make a sticker as well, and it's just so cute. Maybe like a mini print or something. Yeah, so many options. So yeah, I think this is it now. This is our finished product, and really happy with how it looks. Again, not how it looks as I made it now, but how it can look. I think it will be really cute. Quality is nice, the design is nice, and I think how I put it together also makes for a really good construction. So this glue is like a lifesaver. It does so much. Let me just cap it because it always dries off really fast. So yeah, if you like it, I will be making a new one and putting it then on my shop, because I don't want to make product photos of this one because it's gonna look terrible and people are gonna think that they're getting this type of execution, and I don't want them to think that. So look out for the new listing that I will put up once I've made a new one. If you like my print that I showed here, you can also get it on my shop, as well as this sticker sheet and the notepad. Everything that I show on this channel will usually be on the shop for sale, so if you like it, go check it out. And also check out my Instagram. Go follow me there if you haven't already. Tag me if you've made something alongside me for this video. Yeah, I would really like to see what you've been up to, or like write down in the comments if you would like to see those products that I've mentioned before, if you would like me to make that art print into a notepad or into a sticker, or if there's any other ideas that you might have, let me know. I'm open for a lot of things and I would like to hear from you guys. That'll be really cool. If you'd like to stick around, you can hit the subscribe button. I will try to make videos really often as I can, but I do work full-time, so I'll try to make it like weekly, maybe bi-weekly, and I like to be entertaining. I like to try to be entertaining, so if you feel somewhat entertained, if you feel like you maybe learn something, if you feel like sticking around, please do. My goal with this channel is to create a community of people who are like-minded and who are maybe wanting to learn more from each other, struggling to start any project, and I would like to help people find a community for those purposes. Join me, join me, join me, join me. They got me dizzy. I might want to work on something more spring-like next, because it is the cusp of spring right now. I've been having some ideas for some more garden snail designs, so I might try to film myself drawing them and making them and then showing it to you guys. That would be really cool. If you don't know, I have like these series of stickers, which are the garden snails. I will show you the sticker sheet. Where is the sticker sheet? And I want to make more of them with other type of flowers, so look forward to that. Oh my goodness, everything fell. So yeah, see you around, bestie. Thank you so much for sticking around, and have a wonderful week full of whimsy.